we are live this time. Hey, now it is Rob here from Rob's School of Music with Anthony Fasciglione, owner of Alpha Fitness 360. What's up, my friend? How are you today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me, dude. I'm feeling great. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I got to tell you, for anyone watching this now or in the future, we just had the coolest conversation, but it wasn't live. So we're gonna try to recapture that quick little lightning in the bottle. But as you know, I'm saying to you earlier is I truly feel that the world needs more people like you, just putting out the way to keep your body in shape, your mind in shape, be it the nutrition, the mental health, the physical health. It's especially from a musical background. So many of us musicians, we go out on the road and partying and eating, chicken fingers late at night and just being an idiot. And then it just doesn't feel very good the next day. So sustaining your health is a way to sustain your life and sustain success. So,
dude, 100%. I can't agree with you more, man. Honestly, you put into your body and that's what you become. I mean, yeah. I tell people all the time, like, if your body is your temple, treat it as such. And literally you'll see a whole different aspect of life come at you, so mind and body, when it's connected, it's game changing, honestly.
100%, man. 100%. So let's discuss a bit about what it is you do. You're maybe how you got started into this world, and then we'll work our way up to your business. So how'd you get into fitness?
Yeah. So, I started as a kid, man. I was always watching like Pumping Iron, watching Arnold and, Franco Colombo. My dad bought a total gym, saw Chuck Norris on the TV, and I was like, look at that, man. I got to be just like them. And, I started working out. I wasn't always a good, like, in shape kid. I was more on the huskier side. So, picked on a lot in school and whatnot. But through my middle school, high school years, I want to say, I really got into sports. And from there, dude, I took off into, soccer, football, complete total jock. And I realized like how important being active and being fit was at a young age. And from there, I kind of just spiraled into the whole like fitness gym scene, and I was like, oh, this is great. I could help people learn how to become healthier, how to eat healthier, became a personal trainer. And I was like, you know what? This is great, making good money, I'm helping people, but there's a higher calling for me, man. I was like, I gotta help, I gotta bring it to the next level. Went to school, became a physical therapist, got my sports med degree, and then I hybrided like personal training, physical therapy, nutrition, and everything at a one-stop shop at a young age, man. And I saw how it really impacted people. And that's really like in a nutshell how I got into it, man, like throughout my years.
So I think that's fantastic, dude, because, there's so many people out there, when I was in high school, and I was into martial arts my entire like adolescence up until like 16, and then music just overcame it. But it wasn't something like, as I was when they overlapped each other, when I was younger, you couldn't, for some stupid reason, if you were a musician, you couldn't be athletic. You couldn't be a jock. And I know that's something that Samantha, who's our mutual connection here, Sam talks all the time, that she was super into volleyball, but she was a singer, and it was just like taboo to be two things. So I think it's so cool now when I speak to a lot of my students here are, they have to change their schedule in the spring because baseball starts or something. So they're able to be these two things. Which is cool that's kind of opened now, where you can cross these two different worlds together, because like I said before, I think it's really important to have both. So I love that you're not only certified as a trainer, but you're also educated with an actual degree in sports medicine, because there's so many people out there who are, they'll get one of those, and you're NASM, right? So that's like legit certification. For anyone who doesn't know, that's like the one to have. Them, what ACE, and then ISSA. And so Sam and I got ISSA, probably like 2014 or so.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, so she turned me on to the fitness thing, and I was actually in pretty good shape for a while, and then COVID turned me into a slovenly crap, but it's coming back.
Getting there, man. You look good, dude. You look good.
It's
digging
coming.
The shirt. Eat apples daily.
Yeah, so that's our so these are the guitar strings. Eat apples daily, EADGBE. But then it also fits into the vegan thing Sam and I do.
Man.
It's all good. But I love that you have the not to put down upon a certification, but then to have that other side of it, that truly makes you be able to provide so much value to all your clients because you really have the full spectrum of that education.
Yeah, I mean, I love always learning new different styles and areas of fitness and health and wellness. So I don't think I'm gonna stop here, man. Honestly, like at nutrition, being a physical therapist, nutrition, personal trainer. I mean, sky's the limit. There's so many different ways to learn and educate about, the fitness industry. And it's really like with continuing education now. There's so many courses you could take. I think it's great, even for like kids that are, not sure what they want to do. Take the continuing that
Yeah.
continuing education courses. I mean, it's huge. Just get your feet wet. Pay for CEUs. I mean, they should transfer them when you do get a degree, but it's nice just to have it underneath your belt. I think a lot of athletes, they love fitness, they love the working out aspect of it, but they don't really know how to work out properly. A lot
Right.
of, even I think in general, kids should be more involved in health, wellness, and fitness at a younger age. Whether they're musicians, athletes, whether they're, just book readers. I honestly believe that a little bit of knowledge in the industry can go a long way. And like you said, in business as well, and
Sure.
just growing as a person.
Well, it's something that I have such an admiration for the entire fitness industry because you can't, I mean, you can, but you can't buy it. If you want to look the way you look in the picture that I used to promote this thing, that's a guy who works his ass off in the gym the right way.
Yeah.
Same thing with music. You could buy the most expensive guitar in the world. If you don't practice it, you're never going to get any good. You have to earn it. You have to do the work. And I think that provides someone, be it in either lane, it provides someone with such a valuable life lesson that you got to do the work. So
Yeah, I agree. Nothing comes easy, man.
yeah,
Honestly, it's taught me like motivation, dedication, and like relentlessness, like, and that's with even family and, in life in general. Like if I hit a plateau when, I'm training someone, I tell them it's all right to get down on yourself, but don't worry. That's just a new beginning of where we need to kick it up. Like,
yeah.
so it's fun, it's a lot of fun.
I love that. So let's talk about the services you offer. So I looked at your website a bit and I see you're putting some stuff together and then you
Yeah.
have some things launching. So talk all about it, man. Tell people what you're up to.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been during COVID, obviously, it was tough to really train people and whatnot. So I kind of went mobile and virtual. But I realized that it's bigger than just training people. It's making sure they're eating right, getting their nutrition. So I developed a program that's like a 6-week plan that incorporates both fitness, nutrition, but meal prepping at the same time. So I prep the meals, I deliver it to their doorstep. So they can't say no to me. I'm coming to your door. Like I'm coming to your home. I'm knocking on that door and saying, you got to eat this XYZ at this time. And they loved it. So I kind of just rolled with it and I, been growing and growing and it's been doing awesome. Like it's taken off, the meal prepping aspect of it. And, I have a place now in Somers, New York.
Nice.
It's been doing really well. It's like a sports arena, but I'm hybriding it to like almost like a kitchenette sports arena. So
Nice.
it's going to be really cool. More to come, but people love it. I take the pressure out of cooking for moms and dads that are having a hard time, right now going back to work with COVID, like, just getting a schedule and a routine back. I deliver that for them. I give them a whole program, something easy, mindless, and simple. And I'm starting to do it with kids too, and it's great. The kids love it.
Dude,
Yeah.
I think the entire, like, we'll go deep onto the fitness side of it, but I think the nutrition side is so undervalued because you could go to the gym for 3 hours a day every day, but if you go home and you have a giant bowl of Fruity Pebbles before bed every night, you're probably not going to get ripped up. It's just not going to work.
Oh, yeah, I agree, man.
Right. As much as I mean, and I'm a cereal addict, so I know. I just bought that cereal you threw on your Instagram story. I just came today. I'm going to eat a whole box of it tonight, I'm sure, but that's a healthy cereal. But it's for me, like I started using, in the fall, I got like a coupon for a meal prep service, something local here. And the value that provided to my life to not have to think about, okay, I get, I come to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, I get home at 11 o'clock at night. The last thing I want to do is prep for the next day. And I just personally, I know myself, I don't have the self-discipline at this point in my life to do that. I just, when I'm home, I'm shot. And on the weekends, I want to unwind. So having a service like yours where someone can take that part out of it, it's just automating a part of your day. So you're not going to go get a slice of pizza or a cheeseburger. Boom, healthy food right at your doorstep. That's just a brilliant, such a valuable asset to add to someone's life.
Yeah, I mean, I make it very simple for the client and for people to use the system. I mean, I tell them, this is what you're going to eat. These are your macros. I built it into their program. So they don't even have to count or weigh anything. I literally just tell you, here's your Tupperware, pop it in the microwave, eat it. Or sometimes what I'll do is if they do a weekly delivery system, I'll just deliver to their door weekly. And they have the meals right in their fridge, right there at their disposal, So it's really easy. It's simple, and that's really what it is. Nutrition should be that simple and that easy. And unfortunately, it's time consuming, I mean, and it's, if you don't have the knowledge behind it, it's hard. You could get very overwhelmed and you could get discouraged. So I love the whole meal prepping and nutrition industry right now. Like, that's my niche, dude. I'm full blown with it.
That's awesome. I absolutely love it. Do you offer, say someone is gluten-free or vegetarian or vegan, or paleo, do you have different diets for different people?
Yeah. So what I do is a free discovery session where I kind of do a bit of an evaluation on the person. Like I really get into the nitty gritty, like what's their triggers, why they're eating like this, why are you having, let's say, nothing in your morning and then you're just eating everything at 9 o'clock at night. And then I'm asking them also questions of what they like to eat, what they don't like to eat, sweet tooth, salty, so I really break it down. And then I go based on, more or less what they like, what your everyday stuff is that you would eat. And if they're vegetarian, gluten, or paleo, I could tailor any menu to that person, which is awesome.
It's fantastic.
It's awesome. I love it.
So many of these programs out there, especially the ones that are, more regionally based, they just do what they do and that's all they do. And I think that's so limiting, because if you go to some of the nationwide companies, they have all these options. The fact that you're from the ground up already catering to, because there's a lot of people, a lot of dietary needs. So
sure.
I think that is so attractive to anyone, trying out your program. What I'll do is anyone watching this on the replays, we'll have all the links at the bottom to all Anthony's stuff, so you can lock down what he's doing. What's your delivery radius? Is it just Westchester area for now, or
no? So now I'm going anywhere from Long Island to Connecticut.
Oh, so you're going to be my meal.
Going, man. I'm flying.
So you're going to be my meal guy. Okay, we'll talk about that off air. Good. All right, good. Sweet. Now, I think another thing, just to stay on the nutrition side for a bit longer, is there are so much misinformation out there about, people have, I'm eating a salad, but then they'll douse it with ranch dressing. It's like, well, what'd you do? So is there a educational component, like you explaining to people, like, this isn't there for this particular reason, stuff like that?
Yeah. So that's where I offer the coaching, and I incorporate that with the package. So I think the biggest thing is the coaching. I could hand any meal to anybody. I can hand you a meal and say, Rob, eat this. It's amazing. It tastes good and it's good for you. But if I don't coach you through why you're eating this and what's in it and why I'm replacing something that you used prior, it's pointless, man. Honestly, the system won't work. And I feel like that's where I get the people. The coaching is key. Yep. The education behind the science is huge. It's giant.
Fantastic. That's similar to, what we're doing here with our music lesson program. Is you could go on YouTube and learn how to play guitar easily. You could type in there, how do I play AC/DC Back in Black? And some, 10,000 people are going to teach you how to do it. But having that one-on-one real person interactivity where you can answer a question in real time, you can change the way you deliver that information, because the way you explain something to me to make me understand may be very different than how you explain it to someone differently. So I truly believe that having a real person talking to you is worth any sort of premium that you have to pay for it, because it is their life skills. It's teaching you how to relive your life and learn something that's going to change your life, save your life, elongate your life, extend your life. Elongate sounds dirty. Extend your life. Engorge your life. What?
That's
I see a question here from Samantha. What is your best nutritional tip?
a good one, actually. I would say portion control. I think that's one of my biggest things that I try to teach people is, making sure that they're getting an equal amount of everything they need, whether it be carbs, proteins, fats, good fats, good carbohydrates, really getting that portion control, especially even for vegetarians. It's very hard for them to, what kind of proteins do I eat? What should I be eating? Should I eat legumes? Should I eat chickpeas? What can I have? Mushrooms? So that's really what I would hit is the portion control with them. And that's where the coaching, like I said, is huge.
Totally. Totally, man. Yeah. Lots of beans in our household.
Yeah.
Lots of beans. So do you incorporate any sort of, obviously this is whole food based sort of things, but what about supplementation? Do you recommend certain protein powders or turmeric or supplementing D3 or things like that? Like, what's your philosophy on that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would recommend supplements to people who are lacking certain nutritional vitamins and minerals in their diet. But honestly, if you're eating all the foods that I tell you to eat, on a multivitamin is all you need, honestly. I try not to really pump too much subs. I mean, you could get it in your foods. I have more of a holistic approach on that type of supplementation. It's changed my life. That's why I say that. I go from what works with me. I used to take every supplement known to man, and now I've went very holistic, got it through my foods, saw it with my clients how it's changed them, and you could just improve your energy, your strength, your libido, your sex drive, your just regular mental well-being by eating certain things. And it's everything. All your amino acids are in the foods. Everything that you have in foods you already produce in your body. So if you eat more of it, you're enhancing your body's own production. So
Yep, 100%. And again, that's something that's like taboo. People don't understand that. They just, they'll walk into a GNC and some schmuck who's on commission is going to sell you everything they could sell you, the whole, line of some crap that you don't need. And like, I was guilty of it when Sam first got me into fitness. We were the whey protein and the glutamine and the creatine and the casein protein at night and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I feel so much healthier
it's a
when
lot,
it's
man.
coming away. It's expensive. And it's just a lot of, synthetic stuff with lots of fillers and God knows what's really in some of this stuff. We were taking some vitamins for a while that it was like a big brand and we bought them, I think at a Walmart or something, but it was a big brand. And then there was this whole recall on them because they were putting like sawdust and other crap inside the capsules.
Yeah.
Or like some kind of like bug powder or so just something that was not what it said it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what these companies do, man. Just the placebo effect of what what a customer buys, and it's almost like you buy a car and it's like you get like whatever, a Range Rover, and it's like, man, I could have gotten a Hyundai and it looked the same,
Right.
like the interior. It's crazy. They pump it up, but little do you know, like it's literally in your foods, like everything that they're putting in that capsule. You're getting some of it in your foods. And that's why I try to tell people, like, if you eat right, I guarantee you, whether you're on any type of medication or any type of supplement program, you're going to start to wean off it.
Yep. Completely agree. And I think we just need to make that abundantly clear, to anyone out there.
Yeah.
There's another part about health, but I lost it. It'll come back to me. So when it comes to the, man, it was a good part. She typed in, it was rice and radish powder. That's what they were putting in there.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's all different types of like mushrooms that there's mushroom powders that you could put in.
Yep.
Like that's kind of what I use, like if I do, like one of them is called the maitake mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a company called Thrive, and it has all the different types of mushrooms like lion's mane.
Yep.
And it's a powder, and you could add it to like your beetroot powder. You can add it to turmeric. You can mix it with a protein shake. Like I normally do like a plant-based shake now.
Nice.
It's got like matcha in it. It has ashwagandha in it. And these are all things that your body needs because it produces that, whether it helps your, vasodilation and L-arginine, which, L-arginine is in every pre-workout right now known to man. But it has citrulline malate in it, which is also a vasodilator. And all these vasodilators that they're filling with supplements, you could take them individually and it's way healthier and in plant-based.
Right.
So, I do give a big, like, nutritional advice sheet to what they can take if it's for supplements. But again, it's very vegetarian, vegan, holistic based.
I love that, man. I absolutely love that. We used to take, we would take pre-workout and then something like a pump formula. And then all of a sudden we started, take a little bit of beet juice before that workout and you get equally vascular and it's not a bunch of crap and chemicals.
Yeah. You don't get that caffeine high either. Like where it's like you get super geeked out and then you crash.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst, man. And then you're done for the day.
Right. It's shot. You're totally right. Yeah. I drink a coffee, a company called Four Sigmatic, and it's coffee with mushroom mixed inside of it. It has the reishi and all that stuff. And I love it. I feel like I drink that in the morning and I am so charged up, but not like caffeine crazy charged, just like all that, those plants and other things. Definitely, it makes a difference.
Like you could focus still. You still got that mental clarity, where it's like these vasodilators, sometimes they pump so much blood into you, you just get like that, the spots that you see when you work out.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it, that's just a high dose of caffeine and a ton of pump matrix, So.
And everyone's like, oh, that's how I'm supposed to feel. It's like, no, not really.
Yeah,
no,
not a good feeling. No.
Not healthy.
No.
So what would you, before we get into the workout side of things, if someone was just, starting in this journey, like what would be your tips to help them? Because I think this is probably the hardest part for anyone is starting and then having the discipline to stay on the diet, to stay focused. Is it, envisioning the end result? Is it just one day and then another day and the other day? How do you approach that?
So it depends on the person, but I kind of do a mix, like a bit of both. I give you a goal. And I'm like, what do you envision? Let's say your 3-month goal. Because honestly, it will take 3 to 6 months for a full body transformation if we do it right. And then I say, all right, let's take a before and after, right? Give you some motivation. But I say, what do you want to accomplish like tomorrow? Like, what would you say if you could do any fitness goal? What would you want to do tomorrow? And I make them do it. If they're like, I want to climb whatever, 1,000 stairs. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll literally take them to a park and climb 1,000 stairs with them, So, I mean, I hold their hand through the process in the beginning just to teach them baby steps, man. Like it's just really finding that one goal that you want, whether it's doing 10 push-ups or doing, 5 pull-ups, like I'm there with you holding your hand through that process. So, I would start slow with any client, with anybody looking to attack any fitness goal, going around to the park and walking a track, like simple stuff, Rob, nothing crazy. I think fitness people get really scared of like, oh, I got to deadlift and power clean and I got to lift 350 pounds and 1,000 squats. Like it's really not, fitness is not that. It's movement of the body, just getting started, moving your body is fitness. And that's kind of where I break it down with them. I really give them like an end goal and a now goal and
that's
a before
fantastic.
And after,
I think that is the best way to educate anyone on anything is to break it down. There'll be so many people who I'll be, showing them something on guitar or a drum part or something. And like, I'll demonstrate it. And I'm like, just unintentionally to save time, to not waste their time, I'll play it quickly. I'll play it at speed. Right.
Sure.
And then you see just like this deflated look on their face. And I'm like, no. I've been doing this for 25 years. Like, let's just get you to do this little part. This really like just it's the super small version of it and then work your way towards it. And honestly, like, I don't know, like again, drawing the parallel, I know when I grab my phone and I start flipping through it and I see some guitar player who's just doing something that I'll never be able to do, it's discouraging. Similarly, you can see a lot of really fit people out there and fall into that illusion that that's real. And in both categories, it's usually not real. There's some sort of trickery going on. And I think if we could just rip down that bullshit and let people see like, yeah, that guy looks ripped up. Well, he's been drying out for 2 days and he's seconds away from death. But yeah, you can see every vein in his six pack.
That's 100% right, Rob. I mean, you know, I literally break it down into like step by step how they get to this place. You know, I mean,
Nice.
there's a ton of Instagram models and fitness models that, you know, you see the workout videos, and, you know, they've worked their way up to that. You know, they didn't just start doing, you know, um, push-up claps and, you know, power cleans and deadlifts with the weight or the form that they had. I mean, they failed a bunch of times.
Right.
So that's why I kind of, you know, love the corrective side of the personal training, because that's the first thing I do. I evaluate your squat, your push-ups, a pull-up, just basic movements, you know, in the body. And then I build up from there, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So when you're, you know, what is your is it different for each person, or you sort of have a universal philosophy? Are you doing a splits, push day, pull day, a leg day? Or are you doing just individual parts of the body? Like what sort of routines are you putting people on?
Yeah, I mean, I start with like an FMS screen, just really to see what their, you know, what their bodies are doing, and then I switch it up. You know, yeah, everybody's routine is always different,
Yeah.
and I think that's what they like about it. You know, it's not like, you know, your typical back and by day on a Monday, and then, you know, a
Yeah.
chest day on a Tuesday or whatever. You know, like the generic bodybuilder workouts.
Right.
I don't do those, man. It's
Awesome.
I keep you on your feet. You know, one day if I feel like you're ready to do some kettlebell push cleans, like whatever, I'll throw some kettlebells on you. You know, or maybe we won't even do any weights and we'll just run around the track. You know, and I'll have you do all calisthenic work and body weight work with bands. You know, it's not really hard to give someone a workout. It's just being different. You
Sure.
know, always keeping them on their toes, because you could become very stagnant in any routine, and that's where people fall off. You see that like slope of motivation and the dip, and I'm like, uh-oh. So it's always doing a routine for like, you know, maybe a week or two, and then switching it up right away.
I love
but
that.
but I alternate the days. So let's say I do one day calisthenic, one day weights, and then one day for strength, and then one day for performance or for repetitions, I would say. So
I,
I'm always switching that up constantly. And that's why when they ask me for like a program, I normally don't give them one. I'll give them a type of like a basic routine that they could do at the gym. But for me, I won't give them a program.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I think again, dude, you're so clearly a fantastic, you know, teacher, which is part of what you're doing here because you're educating people on it and they're getting, you know, results out of it. But
Thank you.
keeping them on their toes is such an important factor because you're right, they get bored. And you see people, they go to the gym and it's like how many Mondays consecutively can you do chest and fight for the two damn Smith machines and the
Right,
Planet Fitness? It's like, come on, break it up. And to have someone providing them with not only new routines but the accountability to, you know, you're going to show up, they got to show up too.
Yeah.
That's worth every penny.
Yeah. Most of the time I end up working out with them, sort of, just because I want to implement, you know, I want them to see how it's actually done first. And then I kind of bring them through the same motion. I mean, even if I have to move the weight for them to just replicate what I do, and then doing it like 5 times, it's like monkey see, monkey do. Your body automatically registers it. And it's like they love it. I mean,
That's
I've
awesome.
had so much better feedback doing it this way than just doing it like the old school training way, being like, here's your routine and hit the weights. Like that's it.
Very cool. What do you do with someone who's maybe older? You know, do you work with people who are older or like has a lung condition or a joint condition or just, you know, how do you adjust and pivot to make someone who has a plethora of health ailments feel like, you know, say someone is in their 60s and morbidly obese but also has a lung condition and a bad knee and so on and so forth? How do you adapt the plan so they can get out of this terrible health that they're in?
Yeah, I mean, and that's where like the physical therapy part comes in, where I love it. You know, like I can make it a hybrid workout for them. You know, I can make it more pulmonary cardiac rehab. I could, you know, consult with their doctor and
uh,
really get into the nitty gritty of like what's going on with them, seeing what type of medications they're on, because that could also affect their workouts. And really just, like I said, going through that evaluation that I give, that free discovery session, and breaking it down to them, like, this is what we're going to start doing. Baby steps, obviously, for cardiac rehab. But it's also important for them to, you know, exercise and use that heart muscle, because the heart is obviously a muscle. And it's just certain routines are very different for like injuries for like lower back and knees. I would probably do a lot of corrective rehab on them first, just to see what the issue really is with their knees, and then start incorporating strength and conditioning with them instead of just regular weight loss or muscle gain,
That's fantastic, man.
which is awesome. Yeah.
I love that you can hit them from the rehabilitation side of things as you're on a parallel building up things on top of it. You can consult with the doctors. I think that's so much more than, just the trainer at the gym. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but to have
Sure.
this sort of, I love it's in your title, this 360 concept where you're getting hit
Yeah.
from every single angle. That's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, it's great that I could talk to the doctors like that. Being obviously working in the hospitals, doing PT. I built a good rapport with a lot of local doctors, and it's really nice to hear the feedback from the doctors, and also knowing that there's that comfort between me and the doctor for the client.
Sure.
And it really is fun just to see their body, change. Whether it's like a post rehab or a pre-surgical rehab. It's awesome, because going into surgeries, I think, are my favorite. A lot of people who have surgeries, they go in and they're not working out, they're just feeling defeated, but that's like the time to work out. Like, that is the time to like like, you're getting surgery anyways. Let's be smart about how you exercise, but let's start building those like supporting muscles around the injured area, so that when they do the surgery, you have that support from the other muscles. Like for knees, I would strengthen the quads and the hamstrings as well as the calves, so much so that it could support that kneecap. If they have any meniscus repair, ACL repair, those are the muscles that they're going to need a lot, especially
Sure.
for the quads.
It's so cool, man. It's so, so cool. It's like, I think that it's so, I would imagine, and even pretending I'm in that position, like, it's so comforting to be working with someone who truly understands every aspect of it. They're not just like, okay, here's some weight, throw it around. Your knee hurts, too bad, deal with it. It's
Yeah.
it's like, no, I spoke with your doctor. I know you don't feel comfortable, but I can tell you that this is within, you're capable of doing this. And to be able to back that up with all of the facts must be so comforting to someone, because it's scary. It's scary when even if you're in moderate shape, it's scary to go into a gym setting. But if you're terribly out of shape and you feel like you're dying when you literally get off the toilet, because just squatting down was a big hassle for you, to have someone guiding you through that, that's a gift, really, to be able to give people.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through injuries myself, so I'm a little bit more, compassionate to them, in that level. Having back surgery, knee surgery,
Oh, wow.
shoulders. Yeah, I've had them all. So, I can relate to them, and those are like the major things that people have. And it's funny because they're like, How are you in good shape? Like, well, what do you do?" And I dummy it down. Like I said, I do your same program I'm giving you, I gave myself. So I know it works. Like, I've done it for myself. So, it's not like I'm just preaching. I'm actually practicing it myself. And still to this day, I'm doing my own corrective rehab. I'll break down from going from a heavy squat to a heavy bench to like just body weight stuff, learning how to re-squat again, teaching myself, making sure I'm on point. And I do the same thing with my clients.
That's great. That's incredible. So your facility in Somers, are you training people within there at this point with COVID? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so we're limited, obviously. I mean, we're doing a lot more meal plans and meal preps and virtual consults. The people that do feel more comfortable, it is only one-on-one right now. We're not doing any group sessions yet. We're still trying to figure out how we're going to do that, whether we're going to put dividers or, I don't know, barricades. I'm not sure what we're going to do. It's a crazy time, Rob.
Dude,
But
I literally today started the mental process of, okay, I'm gonna, in the coming months, need to start having it, because we've done everything virtual since March 9th of 2020. We've done everything virtual. We've done like over 5,500 virtual music lessons in the past 13 months, which is insane. But
it's crazy.
people want to come back. So I
Sure.
had a friend here. We were trying to, can we hang plexi from the ceiling?
Mhm.
How do I need to buy these portable HIPAA filters? Like, it's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And, as a business owner to business owner, like, that's an unforeseen cost. That is a finite cost. You're going to invest in all these things to make it work. But then once things get safer, what do you do with all that stuff? Like,
Right.
there's going to be a whole lot of people selling off plexi
I was
dividers.
just gonna say there's gonna be an influx in plexis. It's insane. But we're trying our best to do one-on-ones right now. Just because I think that hands-on is so important.
Yeah.
We lose that, like, that one-on-one contact on a phone or on a virtual app. How am I going to instruct someone if I can't actually see their motion and actually guide them through the right thing? It's so hard. Even as like a hands-on therapist, like, that was the most discouraging thing, trying to watch someone do an exercise over a phone and I couldn't even help them do it.
It's dude, I relate. I had a girl who signed up for lessons. I do like packages throughout the year. So she did she got a year of guitar lessons and a free guitar. Started third week of January 2020. 2 months into her lessons, COVID hits, and we stayed on virtual for all of 2020. But this girl was incredible. She just got it. She could sing, she could play, quick learner, and she didn't renew for 2021 because she didn't enjoy it. She's someone who missed out on that opportunity of being seeing her full potential as a musician. Had she had the one-on-one where we could have jammed together, I'll jump on the drum set or whatever it was, like, it's hard to sit on the other side of the screen and watch someone who either you see the potential or you can't facilitate that potential because we're limited by the technology of it. So
Yeah, I mean that's really what's where we're trying to break through, like, and say, obviously we want to keep it more tight knit. We don't want to essentially be like a gym. We want to be more boutique, where it's like a custom type of exercise
yeah,
where it's geared to like one or two people at a time. Where I could personalize their routine and I don't have to worry about them feeling uncomfortable or nervous or scared. It's more intimate, I would say.
sure.
But that's where I feel like you get the best results,
Completely.
honestly.
We don't do group lessons, only one-on-one for that exact reason.
Yeah.
You get that personalized touch. You can't, if you're doing a group, yeah, that, you can do group boot camps and things like that. But if you're really trying to customize it to have a proprietary customized plan, it can't be the same plan for two people because
Right.
they're two different people.
Yeah.
It just negates the thing. But wow, very cool.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. More to
I
come though, man. More to come.
Dude, you're a hustler. I see the stuff you put out there. I love the apparel you have now with that tie dye. Looks really cool.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I Sweats by Jenny and Austin. She's great, man. She hooks it up, man. She definitely check her out on Instagram. She makes the craziest tie dyes. And I just went down to her and I was like, let me see what we could do with this Alpha Fitness logo. Make it fun for the like kids, especially, because I have a daughter and she loves tie dye. Tie dye's in.
Sure.
And I kind of, gave it to her and my girlfriend, and I was like, "What do you guys think?" And they were like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" So, I went with it, and I made just tons of them, and I started giving them people just in their little goodie bags that I give people,
Mhm.
and they loved it. And now I have them, for purchase, which is great.
I
So,
think dude, branding, that's why, again, like I follow your stuff and I'm a branding guy. It's all about, because when it's you are representing, you walk around, you're the billboard for your business, like
yeah,
this shirt, it's Rob School of Music on the back. And we have so many different, my son walks around, he has 3 different shirts. I feel like he only wears those same shirts and he cycles them over and over,
right.
especially with kids, they want to be proud of their parents. And that's a walking billboard for the business. So that's a good thing too.
Yeah, I mean, I love it because I start, I support a lot of local businesses. So I use like a different person for my masks. I use a different person for my shaker cups.
Yeah.
I try to give back to everybody. It's been a hard time for everyone. Everyone took a hit.
Yep.
And, I like sharing the wealth a little bit with everyone, making sure that everybody is covered. I don't know. It's something that I've done as a kid, just not being selfish and always being selfless. And I think that's why I got into this, man, honestly.
Dude, I think that sentence in itself encapsulates who you are as a guy, and that's why you're successful and will continue to be successful, because you're a real person trying to pay it forward with the greatest gift you can give someone is how to make their life better.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I do the same thing. I'm affiliated with the Chamber of Commerce and a bunch of businesses in the town where I am. Just keep everything in the communities. Community supports itself. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's huge. I feel like, so many people nowadays they have to have that mentality of growth, and that's where like that business entrepreneur mindset comes in for me. And I'm like, how can I pay it forward, and how can I help someone else help, their business, but also building something completely different,
Right.
like, so I have a few more companies coming out that are just like sister companies to Alpha Fitness 360, but it's going to be huge for the girls that I'm helping and the guys that I'm helping, businesses that never really got that opportunity to, grow and expand. I'm trying to give it back to them. So
That's fantastic, man. My wheels are turning in the back of my mind. Maybe we can find some way to collaborate with something down the road. I don't know if we can incorporate music and fitness and get people to drive over a bridge, but there might be something to be done with that.
honestly, I think it's huge for musicians, especially.
Yeah.
Like, I think music and health and wellness is essential. I couldn't agree with you more, Rob, because musicians, one of the most high stressed careers, and people don't recognize that.
Yeah.
It's like they don't understand that, like, the grit and the dedication that you guys have to your brand, to who you are, to your music playing, your routines, and it wears on you guys.
Yep.
And you see a ton of rock stars that will do either drugs or alcohol, and they just go down that slippery slope of getting caught in that game. And it's like, if I could teach musicians at a younger age, even as kids, to like transfer into fitness, that's huge, man. Honestly, that right there, it makes me feel good.
Totally.
Because now I'm helping them get better, stronger, healthier, but I'm also preventing them to go down that dark road that, it's common in the industry.
100%. And that's a huge focus here at the school. Trying to keep people off of that path too, because it's this built-in stigma where it's like, oh, I'm going to be a musician, I'm going to go party. And it's like, well, no, that's stupid. Really, it's just stupid. There's nothing cool about it. You're going to feel like crap the next day. You're going to do stuff you regret. And even worse, you might get hooked on something that's going to lead you to an even darker place. So it's
Right.
I think there's tremendous responsibility in trying to educate that next generation on it. And hey, if you're a guitar player, it looks a lot cooler to take off your shirt when you're ripping a solo and be ripped up than take off your shirt and have a beer belly. It's just a fact.
That's true.
So
yeah. I mean, I looked at, what was that movie with Marky Mark and
Rockstar,
man. Yeah. I mean, he was a party animal, but he was ripped, man. Honestly, before he got caught in that lifestyle, he had a healthy lifestyle. He lived, a very holistic, organic life, man. And then obviously he partied a little too hard.
Dude,
but...
I absolutely love that you referenced that movie, because I used to, back when I used to go on tour, I used to every January we would plan a tour around this big trade show in California, and we would fly our equipment out there, and we would do a bunch of West Coast dates with my band. We'd play in San Diego and San Francisco, LA, and our like theme movie for multiple tours was watching Rockstar nonstop. Like,
That's
we had
awesome.
3 copies of the DVD in case someone's got scratched up, and yeah, that's awesome. So
great movie, man. I love that movie.
Very cool. All right, brother. Well, at the end of my music interviews, I always do a rapid fire series of questions, and
go for it.
They're guitar related ones. So I'm going to try and wing it. I'm going to try and do some fitness related ones. So I'm going to, if there's awkward pauses, it's because I'm thinking them as I say them, but let's just see what happens. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So chocolate or vanilla protein powder?
Chocolate.
Okay. If you were to put amino acids in your shaker, what flavor?
Oh, I'm nasty, man. I like watermelon for some reason.
Oh, I like watermelon. It's all good, man. It tastes like a Jolly Rancher. Yeah. Okay. Chest or biceps?
Genetically, I like biceps, man, because I'm strong on my arms. But honestly, chest all day. You got to have that ripped pecs, man.
Chest just makes you feel strong. I don't know.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Having that built chest, that cut, upper chest. Oh God, nothing better than that.
Oh man. See, I don't have any others that I can think of right now. I was like, I had a few that are cooking up the whole time, and I knew when I ran out of them, I wouldn't have one next one. I don't know, man. This has just been so cool and so educational, and I'm so excited that we got to do this. I'm gonna recommend you to everyone I know. I'm gonna share out a
Thank you,
bunch
man.
of stuff, the meal prep side of things, just the training. You know, for anyone here in Rockland, Somers is not that far away. Westchester is not that far away, and it's worth it. If you have someone that's cool like Anthony, it's worth it. It's worth what it is. You know, I used to drive for guitar lessons growing up. I would drive about 50 minutes to go to a teacher because he was the right teacher.
Right.
So that's important, you know?
Yeah, I think that's like key, is to find the proper instructor, teacher, mentor to idolize, and not only idolize, but become a friend. I
Yeah,
mean, essentially, you're going to be with them a lot, so you got to jive with them and vibe with them.
completely. Completely. Well, this has been super cool, man. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you nothing but continued success. And I really, I have a funny feeling as the world opens up and gets safer, in 8 to 12 months, you're going to be in a really cool position. I just feel it.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Rob, thank you. I appreciate the time and having me on the show. I couldn't be more grateful, man.
Awesome, brother. My absolute pleasure. I'm going to play the song here, which I can't hear for some reason. So if you hear it really loud, I apologize. But everyone watching this in the future, check out everything in the links below that you will see. And everyone who watched this with us now, we really appreciate it. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys soon.